Hey everybody, welcome back. Well, with all the uncertainty going on in the world, I have decided to continue stocking up with some freeze-dried wholesaler stuff. Today we're going to take a look at it. We're also going to prepare something that I think you're going to be really interested in, and that is the freeze-dried filet mignon. So let's check it all out. Alright everybody, welcome back. So today you got in front of you a whole order that I just got in from freeze-dried wholesalers. Definitely some of the new stuff. Some of the stuff I bought specifically for this video, and that would be, of course, the freeze-dried filet mignon, because I'm dying to see how that actually tastes and works out. They are a little bit thinner than regular filet mignons. You know, you're not going to get a 4-inch thick filet mignon here, because it's going to take forever to hydrate something like that, and by the time you've hydrated it, you've probably ruined it or cooked it. So I want to go through quickly what I got in, and some of the new stuff, some of the unusual stuff, and then we're going to go and cook ourselves a dinner here with the filet mignon, the string beans, and the sliced potatoes. Now, I know those look like potato chips. They're not. I'm going to make them kind of just like a potato hash kind of thing. So we're going to have that together with all that. But let's start off with the first thing I got, which I absolutely love from freeze-dried wholesalers, and that is the freeze-dried pulled chicken. Okay, that is really good, super quick to hydrate too. This is awesome for camp meals, your bug-out bags, any kind of emergency kind of stuff where you don't want to spend a lot of time. Awesome. Another thing, and this is going to go with something else, so check it out here. Freeze-dried strawberries. So you mix the freeze-dried strawberries with, say, the freeze-dried whipped cream and the freeze-dried yellow sponge cake, and I think you got a real post-apocalyptic yummy dessert there. Anyway, yeah, that's going to be for another video. We're going to make that. Got the freeze-dried mini egg rolls, the vegetable egg rolls cooked. They're fully cooked. All you got to do is hydrate them. Again, with these, I would use my steam method, and you can use that in any kind of double boiler or rice maker, anything like that. After an emergency with no power, of course, you could use it on a double boiler type situation where you have the steam coming through. So that's no problem at all. Freeze-dried filet mignon, freeze-dried string beans and potatoes. We already went through that, and of course, my favorite is their uncooked freeze-dried chicken. This is super easy to hydrate. You've seen me do videos on that in the past. Just put it in cold water, let it sit for about 10 minutes. Next thing you know, you got a piece of chicken. It's really, really cool. The tenders, you can turn them into chicken tenders. You can fry them. You can cook them in a pan, whatever. Any way you want to prepare it. That's one of the cool things about freeze-dried wholesalers is there is no, prepackaged meals. There's no somebody else making the decision for you. You know, if you want those with some vegetables and rice, you can do that. You know, you don't have to have it in there with what Mountain House says you get with a little bit of rice and this many calories and a ton of sodium. So it's a whole lot healthier way to prep. So let me get my little cooking system. We're going to do a really small cooking system today for such a big meal. I want to show you how I can do it on almost anything and how you could do this at home during an emergency with a smaller cook system or even a single burner isobutane stove, and really make something really tasty. So let me get all that set up and bring you back in a minute. All right, so we've got 3 things of water out here. This middle one is hot, or hot from the tap, for the green beans. And this is for the potatoes. That's for the filet mignon. The first thing we're going to put in is the green beans. I'm going to open them up and let you see what they look like dehydrated. Dehydrated food always trips me out because it's so incredibly light. I mean, you pick this bag up, and it feels like you're just picking up a styrofoam bag, A bag with nothing but styrofoam in it, I should say. So I'm just going to get a handful of these. Just kind of drop them in there. And cover them up. I just want to cover them up. Now those will probably take the longest because I found things that need hot water tend to take a little bit longer than things that need cold water. Next up, okay? And by the way, this is what they look like when they're not hydrated yet. So next up is going to be the potatoes. And I want to put those in this little thing here. Again, this is going to be a one-person meal, so we're not going to need a ton. Now, you may be thinking this burner back here is a little bit crazy for cooking steaks. Well, the reason I'm using it is to show you that this can be done with almost any kind of emergency backup stove. You don't need anything fancy. I was thinking about getting my Coleman double burner out and putting the, I don't want the pack there, and putting the, the flat grill on it and everything, and I'm like, nah, you know what? I want to show that this can be done simple and easily. I don't want people to think that this is a big, huge, difficult task. So with all the uncertainty going on in the world, with food shortages kind of looming in the background, and with all the stuff we're hearing about shipping containers and stuff like that off the coast, not being unloaded because of a lack of labor or whatever their excuse they're giving us. It's good to know that you've got food put away. And that's one of the reasons why I love freeze-dried wholesalers. You can do this very, very simply, very, very easily, without a ton of time, and put away food for the next 25 years. And I mean, 10 years from now, or 5 years from now, or God forbid, 6 months from now, when you're digging into this food, it's going to be nice to know, like, wow, everybody else out there is eating the MREs that the National Guard gave them, and I'm sitting here eating filet mignon and potatoes. So there's your filet mignon. Now, no, they're not super thick, like I said before. That's what they look like. We're just going to stick them in there and hydrate them. And while they're hydrating, I'm going to give you a little bit of info on each item. I got two of them kind of mixed together here. Let me take them out so I don't make a mess of this. There we go. All right, and there's another piece right there. Just put these under in cold water. They take about 15 minutes. So, what I'm going to do is let you know the prices of this stuff here. Now, the filet mignon, yes, it is not cheap. I bought this really to test it out to see how good it would be freeze-dried, okay? It is not cheap, but it runs about $59.50. Now, remember, with my link, you're going to save 15% off anything you buy. All you have to do is click that link right below in the description, and you'll save 15% off anything. So, yeah, $60 for a pack of steaks. Yeah, well, it's getting pretty close to what it costs in the store these days. But, to have them put away for however long you need them, that's pretty darn cool. So, let's get into this. You're going to be getting a bulk of packaged, freeze-dried USDA choice Angus filet mignon steaks. They've got a net weight of 6.5 ounces, and they're packaged for, of course, long-term. When hydrated, it's the equivalent of over 2 pounds of fresh, gourmet-trimmed filet mignon. If you purchase that at your local butcher shop once rehydrated and ready for use. Each ounce of the filet mignon will be about 5 ounces of fresh filet mignon when hydrated. So, it's super, super light. And by the way, that's almost fully hydrated. That's pretty wild. So I don't want to keep it in the water too long. But they're hand-trimmed steaks. They're not cooked, so it's perfect for like a hike or emergencies or camping trips. You can cook it over a small stove or a campfire. We're going to be doing it over this A-Lock stove today. It's kind of a clone of the Trangia 25 or 27 or whatever. It does have a little propane burner in there. I'm not using the alcohol burner because I want control when I'm cooking my steaks. I don't want to have them overcooked using the alcohol, which is a little harder to control. So, that's the steaks. Real quick, sliced potatoes, $17.50 for the pack. 8 ounces is what it weighs dehydrated. It'll give you about 40 ounces or 2.5 pounds of, fresh potatoes once they're fully hydrated. Again, they're fully cooked, so all really we're going to do is hydrate these and season them and drop them in the pan and season them up a little bit. Now, freeze-dried string beans, $25.75, and they're also almost fully done. So it turns out the cold water one was one that took forever. This was cold water too, but it was pretty quick. Now this is 2.75 ounces of string beans. It's the equivalent of 16.6 ounces, or just over a pound if you purchase it, say, at your local farmer market. It's rehydrated. Once rehydrated, it's ready for use. Each ounce of freeze-dried beans will be about 6 ounces of fresh beans when hydrated, okay? So that's a little bit of information. They run about $25.75 for this pack here. This one is $17.50, and again, this one is about $60. All of these are going to be a whole lot cheaper if you just pop on there using my link that he set up for me and my subscribers, and you can save 15%. So let's give it a few more minutes here. I'm going to take everything out of water once it's hydrated, and we're actually going to try and cook this thing. All right, so within 10 minutes, everything is rehydrated. Your potatoes are ready. They're nice and soft. Green beans are all soft. String beans, I should say. And of course, your steak is ready to go. This probably has to be the only YouTube channel that's going to tell you to wring out your steaks once they're hydrated. The reason I like to get as much water out of these as possible is because if you have ever cooked a wet piece of meat, you know that the water retains inside and it will poach it and not fully cook it. Now, when I say wring them out, I mean just push them down in this and dump this out and get all the water you can get out of them. So the first thing I'm going to set up are the potatoes, because I think they're going to take the longest and I want to season them and have them really good. So we're going to stick a little bit of coconut oil in here. And you'll notice that this is a Luxada fry pan, titanium fry pan. I picked this up ages ago. It's not the best. It kind of buckled a little bit, but, I got a little bump on the bottom. But all in all, it works fairly well for its intended purposes. and it is super, super lightweight. So we're going to start up the fire and put these in. All right, so this thing has to be lit in here. It does come with its own little insert there. It's insert for a isobutane stove. One of the reasons I'm using this is because you can put it so low. You see it's super high there, but I can take this down to a nice simmer, and it won't be too bad for the potatoes. Now I'm going to stick these on here, and I'm going to season the potatoes. And again, we're going to use our little Tic Tac dispensers for seasoning. You see how the pan kind of warps when it gets hot. Now, this burner is only in the center, so remember we have to kind of diffuse it a little bit. That might mean moving it around a little bit, heating different parts of the pan. No real big deal, very easy to do. Just something to think about, and just a way to show you how any pan will do, and any cook system will do, if you're willing to put the effort into it. So I'm going to put a little bit of garlic on here. I don't want to light my stuff on fire there. A little bit of garlic on these. Okay. And I'm going to cheat and use these because I don't want to empty my little dispensers out. And there you go. Obviously, that oil is definitely ready to go. So let's dump these in. Okay. And you'll notice it's sputtering a little bit because of the fluid. That's why I say you want to get as much liquid out of these as possible before you put them into your fry pan. It's no big deal here, but if you're cooking in your kitchen or somewhere nice and you don't want to ruin the place for a short emergency or power outage or whatever, you definitely want to be mindful of that. So we're going to let these cook a little bit, stir them around a little bit. I'll bring you back when we change the next item and these are done. All right, so I think they're pretty much done. I'm just kind of letting them brown up a little bit. They are very, very tasty. I already had one. They're really good. Kind of a, best way to describe it would be like a hash brown, but yet not. A well-seasoned hash brown potato. Okay, I'm going to put these on the plate. And this is a lot more than I expected it would be. But we'll probably make that plate look a little bit neater. Next up, we're going to do the baked beans, the string beans. I keep calling them everything but what they are. All right, so I'm just going to move the oil around in here. We're going to be using, let me get that potato out of there. We're going to be using the exact same stuff seasoning that we're going to be using in there, so it doesn't matter. You don't really need to clean the pan or anything. That's really actually probably a pretty good amount of seasoning in there. We're just going to dump them in. Now remember, these are fully cooked, so what we're really doing here is just getting them to taste. And one of the cool things about this is it gives you a chance to test out your cook system in a less than optimal condition. I mean, you know, this isn't perfect for what we're trying to do here today, but I will say it's actually working pretty well, especially with the potatoes so far. The real test is going to be to see how the steaks come out. So let me let these go a little bit, and then we'll plate them up, and I'll show you the next step here, which is the steaks. All right, these took little to no time at all. Again, they're fully cooked, so no big deal, real easy to do. And they look really good. So try one out once I put some on the plate here. I want to put it on the plate first. And again, this is probably more. So when you are cooking these, remember your portion sizes, because you don't want to waste food, especially in a post-emergency or disaster situation. The last thing you want to do is waste that if no one's going to eat it. So let's try one out. Wow, yeah, they just taste just like string beans. That's pretty amazing. I like the seasonings on them. That's really good. That's pretty amazing. All right, so we got a little left over there. Next up, we're going to do the steaks. And for the steaks, I'm not going to be using coconut oil. I'm going to be using butter because I want to get that flavor in there. And I'm going to also show you something about what I use when I cook steaks and what I stock away for that purpose. What I'm trying to do with the pan now for the steaks is just kind of warm it up evenly. I am not going to probably keep the heat on when doing it, at least to begin with, because I just want to have the steaks cook evenly and not burn. But you see, with a less than optimal cook system, you're still able to do a whole lot of food. And I mean, look what we got so far, and we're going to have steaks in a minute here. One of the things I was telling you about is this stuff here. Get this if you can find it. Montreal steak seasoning. You can order this on Amazon. It is awesome for steaks. Yeah. It is really, really good. It's also good for chicken. I've used it on everything, so gotta love the stuff. I'm just seasoning them in here. There's a little bit of it on each side. We're just going to put them in. Now remember, you're not going to get a rare steak here. Okay? And I'm just going to kind of work them like you would over a fire. So we're going to finish these up, and I'm going to show you what they look like when they come out. And let's see how they're doing right now so far. Yeah, doing good, doing good. So, then we're going to try this whole thing out, and looks like I'm going to have a really good lunch when it's all done. Anyway, folks, give me a few minutes and I'll bring you back. All right, I'm pretty sure they're done. You can take a look at them here. Look at that. That looks awesome. All right, so there you go. I'm going to turn off the stove. And with minimal cleanup, you're all set to go. Again, this would be something that would be convenient, say, in a smaller apartment, maybe a house, maybe a dorm room, whatever. All right, so let's give it a try here. There's the steak. Check it out. Wow. That's amazing. I don't know how they do it, but that is so incredibly tender. Seriously. And I mean, this is not the perfect cook set for this. I had it my way, I would have done this over a fire or something, but I figured we're going to try and show you how easy it is to do it with any cook set. That is just amazing. I don't know if you can get a look at the steak here up close, but there you go. So, that's going to make a really, really nice thumbnail. Put it like that and clean it up a little bit when it's all done. But you see how easy that is to put together a meal no matter what you have to cook on. Even if I had a single isobutane burner, which is essentially what that is in a fancy setup, you could still cook yourself a decent meal with freeze-dried wholesaler stuff. Not have to worry about how long you've had it put away. It's good for a good 25 years, everything there. Let me check the filet mignon just to make sure I don't sound silly. Yep, see? Your ingredients are just beef tenderloin. So, definitely a cool thing. Unless it says otherwise, it's good for 25 years, and I didn't see anything on that package. So, definitely cool way to store some food. Now, the filet mignon, the price, yes, it's a little expensive. Yes, it's 60 bucks, but let's face it, it's filet mignon you can put in your closet and forget about. And 25 years later, when there's an emergency, you can have. So, pretty darn cool. Anyway, folks, that's the video for today. Don't forget to check the link down below. You can try out any of the things that I've shown you here. You can save 15% just by clicking the link right there for freeze-dried wholesalers. That's my personal link for you guys, so you guys can save 15% while shopping. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out all our links down below, as well as our freeze-dried wholesaler link, which will save you, like I said, 15%. We even have a merch link down there now, so if you're interested in picking up an Iridium T242 t-shirt, hey, go for it. Pick up yourself a shirt and support the channel that way. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.